These are not the nerds you're looking for. Wait, yes they are. Hey, it was 93 degrees today. It is the 4th of May, hence, you know, the Star Wars, because May the 4th be with you. This wasn't my pun, but I still love it. And it is way too hot to be wearing this for this Wednesday's edition of Your Coast, My Coast. Oh, lightsabers. Whew, it's warm there, don't you know? Woofda, warm today. This past weekend was the book fair on Saturday, which if you've been watching Your Coast, My Coast, there's a video about, which I'm particularly proud of my title, which was Not With a Bang, but a book fair, book festival, one of those. Anyway, I'm particularly proud of that title because I'm a nerd and I like clever puns. Or not clever puns. I like puns. They're my weakness. It's my kryptonite. And now I'm crossing sci-fi genres. For shame. Other than that, it's been a pretty normal week. Sadly, my roommate took her kitty back tonight, so there will be no more kitty living with me. So, goodbye, Cordelia. I will miss you. I will not miss you waking me up at 4:30 in the morning, using my bed as a runway to the window, but I will miss most of the other things you do. But moving right along, in the spirit of moving along, let's talk about books. More importantly, favorite books and or favorite authors. So I'm going to show you my all-time favorite book of all time, which is The Cornerstone by Randall, Beth, Platt. I have read this at least 25 times, as you can tell by the battered cover. And if you remove the battered book jacket, you find that the book itself is in an equal worn condition. It is set, surprisingly, during World War II. For those of you who don't know, I have this weird obsession with World War II fiction, or historical fiction set during World War II. So a lot of books I own are set during World War II. This one is about a retired Navy officer who has to go back and dedicate this new lodge at this camp he went to when he was 14 or 15, round about there, during World War II. And when he was those ages, he was sort of a troublemaker and kind of a delinquent. And the counselor at the camp was a war veteran and injured, and pretty much just inspired these boys in this cabin full of delinquents and misfits to become better, and that they don't have to be what everyone thinks they are. My favorite author of all time is Michael Chabon, as you can see here. I have quite a collection of his. My friend is currently borrowing my two favorites, which are The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay and The Yiddish Policeman's Union. I most likely have mentioned those books to you before. Pretty much, he just writes fantastically. Like, there are sentences that I will stop and reread because they are so beautiful and so well written. One of my favorites from The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay is Sammy Clay is up at top of the Empire State Building. That's also during World War II. Go figure. And he's up there watching for enemy spy planes. And while he's up there, it's very quiet because he's the only one up there. And there's a part that says the refrigerators hum softly to themselves. And I just think that's a beautiful way of describing silence, which my street is not. The Mysteries of Pittsburgh was made into a movie, as was Wonder Boys, another of his books. Mysteries of Pittsburgh is a good movie. The book is so much better just in the description and the characterization of everyone. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's just beautiful about seeing your own potential and seeing other people around you and thinking that they have these wonderful, fantastic lives, only to realize that they are as messed up as you are and that you can be as fantastic and wonderful as the people you admire are. I'm going to read you a section of The Yiddish Policeman's Union, which takes place in Alaska, essentially on the theory that Jerusalem was not designated for the Jewish Holy Land, but all of the Jews were relocated to Sitka, Alaska, instead of Jerusalem. And so this is one page where after I read it, I had to go back and read it 2 more times because it was so fantastic. According to doctor's therapist and his ex-wife, Lensman drinks only to medicate himself, tuning the tubes and crystals of his moods with a crude hammer of 100-proof plum brandy. But the truth is that Lensman has only 2 moods, working and dead. Mayor Lensman is the most decorated shamus in the district of Sitka. Shamus is police officer. He has the memory of a convict, the balls of a fireman, the eyesight of a housebreaker. When there is crime to fight, Lensman tears around Sitka like a man with his pant leg caught in a rocket. Like there's a film score playing behind him, heavy on the castanets. The problem comes in the hours when he isn't working, when his thoughts start blowing out the open window of his brain like pages from a blotter. Sometimes it takes a heavy paperweight to pin them down. It's just, I don't know, the way he words things is just so fantastic to me. So if you haven't read any Michael Chabon, definitely look him up. Super good. Those are my favorite books and authors. Pretty much anything by Michael Chabon, and the Cornerstone brand with Platt, which I've been reading since I was 13. The one thing that's interesting about reading a book for so long, because I've been reading this for like 12 years, just repeatedly because it's just an old favorite, is that the main character, when he goes back to this camp, he's 13 or 14, and I started reading it being slightly younger than that. So it's interesting to read it coming up on that age, hitting that age, and then the camp counselor in this book is 25 to 30, somewhere around there. And now I'm that age, and it's interesting to see those characters from the age that I am now. Because when I was reading it at 13, I was thinking, oh, 25 is so old, 30 is so old for a person to be, and such an adult age. And now that I'm here, it's just so interesting to be able to look back on that perspective and to see that character as more of my peer rather than someone much older. So it's just, I mean, it was like that with the Harry Potter books too, where when I started reading them I was 11 and 12 in the ages of Harry Potter and his friends, but as I got older they aged yearly, whereas the books didn't come out yearly. And so it turned out that when I was reading the last one, I was around the age of Harry's parents when they were killed, which is just mind-boggling to think that I was the age of these people who were killed that started this whole story. So it's just really interesting to read books where you were the age of the main character and then you're the age of someone else in the story. So anyway, that's all for me. Sarah, I will see you on Friday. Jen, I will see you Monday. I don't have anything planned for this weekend, I don't believe. Cleaning and laundry. Thrilling. It's supposed to cool down finally. So no more, 93, 94 degree days, which is great because it's way too warm. Anyway, that's all for me. I almost said see me tomorrow because I've been doing vlog every day in April too much. Actually, just 30 days, but whatever. See me next week. Bye!